What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we do our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world because you guys know crypto is the biggest opportunity and nothing's even close. So, welcome along. We're pumped to have you guys as part of our community. You guys make the show what it is. So, thanks for being here. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Just hanging out here in Puerto Rico where we're using cryptocurrency as that wealth creation tool and using real estate as a wealth preservation tool, and going to take as many friends and family members along this ride as we possibly can. And guys, I'm still a little under the weather, but I'm going to do my best to make it through this show today so we can keep bringing you the good word of cryptocurrency. Because to Dane's point, this is the once in a lifetime opportunity where we could change the trajectory of our family tree and our friends too. And it's just going to be a blast doing this with you guys. And yeah, I agree. It's our audience who makes up this show. You guys are the ones who are, here every day with us, ride and dying with us. We appreciate that. And so, man, I got to change my lighting. Like I've tried 2 different lights, Dane, and I have like this red. Like I'm not sunburned, I promise, but like it looks like I'm sunburned, and I need to get to a nice cooler light for when I'm doing streams. But yeah, man, it's just been we have a pretty red day in Pulse Chain land today.
Yep.
But
and we've been talking about this for a while now. You want to, frankly, let me share my screen. I was thinking we would get this pull back. In fact, I think we're coming back down to on Pulse. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
So I think we're gonna, yeah. So if we draw double-ish or darn near right here. All right, let's drag this guy.
While you're doing that, Briz is right. ETH and Bitcoin are down too. That's why we're seeing this. All crypto is down right now.
So I mean, we're looking right now on the Pulse chain chart, right? Or get another dip. I mean, we've talked about it a lot on our show here. I think you come down here. I think you're likely to come down and retest this previous zone right here. I don't know if you necessarily come and get a double bottoming clear down here, but I think it's reasonably likely we come down and touch over here. And if we do that, I mean, it's not a huge dip from here either. It's only 10% more down, which isn't much. I mean, more recently, since the height of this little bit of a run, I mean, we're down, only down 20%. Like, it's not even a huge deal. So I think we've got more pain to go. In fact, I would like to see it. This line right here that I've drawn, this is a big support and resistance line. You can see it act as support here, act as support, and then it broke. We broke through more recently. So I would love to see something kind of like this where we came down and tested. We want a higher low, but we tested kind of like this. We came up here, broke down, and then broke up, and then retested, and now we're back off. Like, I would love to see something like that. Who knows what we'll get, but I mean, I think
W formation too, Dane, that Hans likes to see all the time in all the price charts. So that would be a very good, healthy market structure coming out, and it would take time, which is I'm anticipating we still have a couple months. And so, yeah, I'm for it.
I'm really curious. I think there's a decent chance that we end up green this month. I think there's a decent chance August ends green, and we get some sideways movement. Nothing super crazy, but I think there's a decent chance we end green in August, and September and October things start to get more exciting. The nice thing about this is you could be more patient with how you're putting money in the market and being smart about it.
Yep.
We are. I'm glad you guys are all here. We are currently doing a fundraiser for Urban Productions that apparently is stuck out on an island. Someone immediately wire him 300 grand. Let's raise some more money. So let's talk about this. I think this is an interesting topic. You guys, I'm really curious your take on it. What are you doing? We've seen these rounds time and time again of OGs that thought they were retired. Newsflash, you are not retired, most OGs. And rather than going and finding a way to support themselves like the rest of us, where you go and you get a job or you build a business or you do something like that. They'd rather go fundraise from the community. And I get it. I'd love to just stay retired if I was once there. But if you're not, I have some strong feelings about this topic, and I'm curious where you guys stand on it. So, are you giving your money away to OGs looking to raise funds to bail themselves out to stay retired, or would you rather buy more crypto at these lows? What are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm buying more crypto. You know what I'm
Buy
doing.
more crypto.
I mean, like, here's the thing, man. In life, we make mistakes. We mess up. We do it. I've made my fair share of mistakes. Oh my God, I've made my fair share of mistakes. And when you do that, and you need help, you go to friends and family. That's where you go. That's what friends and family are for. So, like, I don't understand why he has no friends. Does he have no family to lean back on when these hardships happen? That's who you go to when you're having hardship in your life. You can get a loan. Like, I could probably come up with, if I needed to, I could probably call 3-4 of my friends and family. You'd probably be one of them, Dane. And I could probably come up with about 50K, maybe even up to 100K, just from my friends and family alone.
Yeah,
Like, and
just
it,
out of goodwill from our relationship, right?
yeah, it would be a loan. It's not a donation. I'm vice versa. I wouldn't just give you 50 grand and be like, here you go. Get out of jail, but that's yours. No, you're gonna have to pay me back, right? That's just the way that works. It's not a donation.
Really quick, Hex Monkey has a comment here. Yeah, feel free to give us some more context because I would love to hear it. I think a lot of people would love to have more context here. Here's the context that I think most people are aware of, and I think this is where a lot of the backlash comes from. If you put your wallet on the internet that was worth tens, I've heard rumors of upwards of $100 million at one point, you ran victory laps and you told everybody to stake for 15 years, while apparently you were not, so you could go ball out in Miami, and now you're begging them for money. This is karma, friends. This is karma, in my perspective.
He's been
Who,
balling all over the world. He's been
yeah,
traveling like everywhere. And I even when he's in Miami, he's going to those nightclubs. I mean, look, I don't judge. I can't judge someone's lifestyle because, like I said, I have a very seedy background lifestyle. I get it, but like, if you can't afford the lifestyle, then yeah,
don't come begging us for it to support the
yeah.
lifestyle.
I mean, we got some buddies like that, Dane, like Nick and Brent.
Yeah.
those I think Nick maybe not so much no more. He's got a baby. God bless his heart. I hope he's not like that anymore. But we've seen these guys, and they'll go out to these nightclubs. Man, they're not cheap. To have dinner, like, you want to have dinner there, you want to like ball out with a bottle service. I mean, you're walking out with a minimum $5,000 bill, and I've seen it as expensive as $50,000, right? And so, like, anytime you go in a nightclub, this is not a cheap event. And like, literally one nightclub or two nightclub events or that he went out to, he could pay this bail. Another thing that brings up my interest
And
is
also, like, if you could get calls out, then like I don't understand. Maybe it's because I've muted Kareem. I was done after he told everybody to buy the top last time around. But like, is there if he could talk on the phone, why is he not the one out there trying to like share the story or do
calling
some
friends
of
and
the yeah, yeah.
family,
It's a
not
bad
having
look.
friends or family. That's a part I'm really confused about. I would not be trying to ask a community for a donation. I mean, It is what it is. I mean, I get it. He's in trouble, and
And we feel for him. I want to be clear about that. We feel for him. We hope the best for him. We hope he's able to sort things out. There's a right way and a wrong way to try to sort things out.
I'm wondering how legit the story is too, because I saw B Roots dug up some information that most people who are found with just ammo are let go. They get a fine and they're able to go. Where if you're gun smuggling or if it's drugs, that's I don't know if you ever watched that show, Dane, Locked Up Abroad on the I think it's
I love that show. It's
that show was great. I think it was on the what is it, Nat Geo channel? I can't remember what channel it was on, but it was an amazing show, and that's what this reminds me of. Obviously he was maybe trying to make some money. I don't know. I'm not saying this will happen, but like you see this all the time, and and he got caught. It's just you take the risk. It's just what's going to happen. I don't see it being this I don't know. I could be wrong. I understand these Caribbean islands can be very strict in their law, but from what I understand, a lot of the people who got caught with ammo get let go out of Turk and Caicos. I didn't realize how close it was to Puerto Rico Day, and I actually looked it up. It's right above the Dominican Republic. It's a little island right above the Dominican. It's very close to us. So
let me 1 second, Corey. My kid's school is calling. I'll be back just a second.
Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. I mean, like I said, I do feel for him, but I think there's more of the story than he's letting on. And I mean, call friends and family. That's it's unfortunate, man. We're just seeing this over and over and over again. I don't know why. Yeah, but why did Richard tweet that? Look, Kareem did basically help kind of like push out the good word of Hex, especially in the early days. I mean, he's an OG, right? Like he's day one Hexakin. And so I'm sure Richard is actually friends with Kareem because they used to like in the early days, and Hex Monkey might be able to attest to this. They had like chat rooms in Telegram, and Richard was in there all the time, and everybody knew each other. Like they knew each other on a very personal level. And so I'm sure this is his friend, right? That's all it is. It's his friend. And I'm sure Richard's probably donating to it. So that's why Richard tweeted it. I don't think too much of it. It's like he tweeted it because, he's trying to help the guy out. And it's up to you whether or not you want to do it. It looks really bad. I mean, I hope he's learning some lessons from this. He obviously had sold a lot at the top or somewhere near the top because of what his lifestyle was like. But I mean, man, if you're selling crypto, save some of that money. Don't go out and live the lavish lifestyle. Put that money aside or put it to work for you. You want to invest that money or put it somewhere long term, right? Like invest in real estate. It's a great tool, it's a great vehicle. Like, don't sell your crypto and then go out and live the rock and roll lifestyle. It's just it's not very responsible. But so it'd be interesting. We'll see. Still trying to find out why so many Americans are going there and coming back with ammo. Yeah, that's an interesting. Why is that? I don't understand it either. But I don't know. I was surprised Richard gave me attention. He didn't speak about projects mostly unfollows everybody. It mentions Kareem. My take is a private matter. We cannot support all private matters. Yeah, that's my take on it too. Like I said, they're friends. And he might have reached out to Richard. And once again, that's who you reach out to is your friends and family when you're in a very serious situation like this. That's what I'm sure why Richard posted it because everybody. Well, here's Brizology, and he could attest to it. everybody kind of knows each other. The OGs, they were all in chat rooms together, including Richard. Like he knew all these guys on a very personal level. So the airline show on A&E is pretty good too. It's reality TV in airport. Oh, I haven't seen that one, Brizology. The airline show on A&E. It's a reality TV in airports. Oh man, I'll tell you a story that while we're waiting for Dane. This is about 5 years ago. I was this is back. That's probably about 8 years ago then, because this is towards the beginning of my real estate entrepreneurial journey. I used to go to in-person appointments to houses to meet with the seller so I could buy their property, at a discount. And but when I was going to the in-person appointments, there was many times where I felt like, man, I'm uncomfortable here. This just doesn't feel right. And so I got a gun. I got a gun, and I used to carry it in my laptop bag, any appointment that I would go to. And I was going to a mastermind in California, and I was drinking really heavily the night before. This is back in my drinking days. And I had woke up. We had to catch the flight. I think it was like at 6 a.m. And since I wasn't really all there or thinking, most of the times I take the gun out before I go to the airport. Nope, not that time. I went to the airport. I had the gun in my laptop bag. I go through security, and sure enough, they find it. They pull me over, and they go, "Sir, do you have a gun in your laptop bag?" I was like, crap. Yes, I do. And wasn't that big of it. I mean, it was kind of a big deal. I had to pay $1,000 fine. But actually, I thought it'd be a lot worse. I actually got the gun back. They said if I could have somebody come to the airport at that moment in time, that they would give the gun to them, and then I could still get on my airplane. And so I was really surprised on how that went down. I thought I would have got arrested or something to that nature. No, it was just a fine. And I couldn't use TSA pre-check, I think, and I need to look at this because I would like to get TSA pre-check again. I think it was 5 years. They suspend it, and I hope it wasn't indefinitely, but I got to look at that. So I've been there with that, but of course that was in the United States. That was not in a foreign country. I mean, when you're traveling, you want to be extra careful about anything you're bringing back from that country, or anything you're bringing into the country, whatever you're doing, because all these countries have different laws, right? And so, but that was my one experience with my TSA encounter. I was telling them the story, Dane, of when I brought my gun through TSA, and that was
yeah.
not the wisest decision. And it's all because I was hungover from the night before drinking, and I just totally spaced out and forgot it was in my laptop bag. And so, yeah.
Here's a good one. What was the time frame on that, Corey?
That was like 8 years ago, man. Yeah, I want to say it's about 8 years ago. It was roughly probably, I want to say it was 2 or 3 years into my real estate entrepreneurial journey. I was part of the boardroom mastermind, and that's where we were flying to. We were flying to California to actually go to Kent Clothier's house for one of his mastermind meetings. And because I was drinking, that did not pan out very well.
What was your thoughts? I don't know if you guys have covered this yet. It was interesting to look at Richard's tweet where Richard's tweeting out to look into the situation with Kareem and seeing some of the comments. And frankly, I thought many of them kind of fair. The community donated largely the bulk of their funds, over $1.5 billion. What's it been, a couple of years ago? There's someone that will not be named here that could use said funds to take care of all of these types of things rather than asking for the community to do it. What are your thoughts on that, Corey?
I mean, I think Richard and Kareem are friends. I was talking about this a little bit before you came back on. The Hex OGs, and like I said, Brizology and Hex Monkey, they can kind of contest to this. They used to be in back rooms on Telegram with Richard. Like everyone knew each other at a very personal level. Like, and Kareem was like, I mean, he was probably one of the biggest marketer for Hex in the early days, right? Like he was extremely beating the drum of Hex and screaming, although it was stake everything 5555, which I don't think he was. That's another story. It's not neither here nor there. But him and Richard were friends. They're friends. I bet you he called Richard, but he notified Richard. And Richard, once again, that's who you're going to reach out to if you're in trouble. You're going to reach out to friends and family, and that's what I feel like that was, because a lot of these guys, I mean, these OGs and Richard, they know each other on a very personal level. So
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you were a billionaire, why don't you just pick up the tab then?
I'm sure Richard's sending money. I'm sure Richard has sent him money. So I just don't think he's picking the whole tab up. I don't know. What is a tab? Do we even know what the tab is?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sure Richard has given him money at this point.
Yeah, it's interesting. Lots of things that have gone on in the bear market that have been odd at best.
I was talking to Franklin about this last night, man. He's just like, the bear market has gotten the best of us all.
Seriously. And honestly, like seriously, can you imagine having a portfolio that near the top was worth, 10 million, 50, 100 million or more? I think that most people would say I'm good. Like even with the bear market, I'm earning interest. Like I'm good. And man, a 99% price correction will humble anyone. Humble anyone.
And I disagree with this prosology. There's no way he was living that lavish of a lifestyle where he was traveling all over the world and going to nightclubs and spending anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 a pop without just selling all his hex. I don't believe he has much long-term hex stakes. In fact, the one he EES was only 2 million hex. 2 million hex. I mean, I'm sure he's got some, but I disagree with this. I believe he was selling a lot.
When you had to take profits to come out of this live last bull run.
You don't have that kind of lifestyle where, no, I'm not going to buy that for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be fair, yeah, K Crypto, RH Coins, and Bear, not Solana. I mean, everything outside of Solana and Bitcoin has, for the most part, been in a bear market. There's been definitely some winners, but it's not like you could point to a chain and say, oh, like, look at Solana. Like, go find me the winners on Solana without buying 100 rugs first. Like, I've tried. Maybe you guys are better at this than me, but like most stuff, pretty well all of DeFi, for instance, look at the Aave chart. Look at, so many of these others. Like, everything is still in a bear market right now.
Yeah, price charts are wrecked everywhere. I mean, I have a couple assets that are that outside of the RH ecosystem. I know, like, oh my God, Corey holds some assets outside of it. And I was looking at my portfolio today. Those assets are just as wrecked as my RH asset. It's like there's no like favoritism. They're all wrecked.
Right. No, and Hex Monkey, yeah, I think this is a really fair comment. Yeah, and once again, I'm less interested about lifestyle and recklessness in a bull run. Like, you do you, but it's important to remember how you represent yourself during those times, so that if hard times do beset you at some point, people are more willing to help. Right? People want to help people that help themselves, that have humility, that are understanding, that operate in a way that you'd want to be their buddy. If you're running victory laps and you're saying all this craziness like Hex to $1,000 in incredibly short periods of time, telling people to buy the top, good luck to you. But definitely, like, not a time to lambaste the guy. I just think that I think that a lot of the criticism is fair, and nonetheless, we hope the best for him.
On a lighter note, dude, check out the new shirt I got.
Nice. I like it. Oh man, when is freaking Gary gonna be gone? Does Donald Trump, if Donald actually, so here's an interesting question, Corey. What are the odds? I know that some of the polling is saying that's like 70% chance likelihood Donald Trump gets into office. Would you agree with those odds as things currently stand right now?
Yeah, if they can keep him alive. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, what are they gonna or if they don't, I'm sure they're gonna try to steal the election again. I don't know, man. I believe if everything remains the same and he stays alive, and I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I think he'll get in the office. I believe he will get in the office. I mean, the country
I think
needs.
it's a tighter race than him being a 70% odds to get in. I think it's a lot tighter than that.
Oh, I don't know about that. They say that when a presidential assassination attempt happens, it skyrockets
It
their
did with Ronald Reagan, which is pretty fascinating. It did with Reagan, but I think we live in a really odd time. Point in case, I'll give you another example. This really got my mind running yesterday. I was watching a video from the Valuetainment guys, Patrick Bet David. He puts out a lot of good stuff, and they were looking at, for instance, the Olympics here, and the Olympics. You
oh,
know, I don't want to
that's
get way deep into it, but gosh, like you have the
horrible.
opening ceremony with not a little poke at Christianity. This was a fuck you to Christians across the world type of event. And what did Christians do? I I see people mad and frustrated, but I don't see Christians boycotting the Olympics. I don't see people taking actions that affect the pocketbooks. This is record-setting revenue generated from the Olympics. Well, that revenue wouldn't come if you didn't watch, if you didn't attend, if you said, "Hey, we don't stand for this type of behavior." And it's interesting. The reason that I think that applies here with, essentially the future of where the country's head, at least for this election, is I think that you see a lot of people amidst problems not make decisions that would actually lead to change and lead to better behavior. And so I think that the race is going to be surprisingly tight, and I think that there's the powers that be do not want Donald Trump in office.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. The Olympics, man. The whole thing is it's just complete utter filth. I
Oh,
mean, men participating in women's boxing and like
yeah.
all
What was that? Holy
like
cow.
it's
What?
complete utter freaking garbage. Like I oh my god,
Yeah.
it's
I haven't watched any of it. After that, I
no,
was like, man, I
I have
haven't watched
no.
any. I see the clips on like social media, but like I haven't paid attention at all.
It's going back to your point that you made. I think it was on or a couple of days ago. You got to know your values and what you stand for, and this is one of those things, right? You got to know what you stand for, and you got to know your values, your core values, and this stuff is not aligned with anything that it's the opposite of what my core values are.
Right. So let's say if Donald Trump is elected into office, what is the likelihood that he gets rid of Gary Gensler on day one, like he talked about at the Bitcoin conference? What are your thoughts there?
I think it'll happen. Yeah, I
I
think
do
it'll
too. I think there's pretty good odds of that. I think that's
Yeah,
an easy thing he could deliver on right out of the gates.
yeah, yeah. I think that's something because he said he wants to get rid of choke point, Operation Choke Point on crypto, and I think he will. I think he will when he gets in office. So, like I said, he's just got to stay alive. That's the
Yeah, can
part.
he stay alive? It's a
He stay
really
alive. And it
it's a
might not be.
crazy thing to consider.
Yeah, we live in crazy times, man. That's for sure.
Yeah. This is This is an interesting one. I mean, I don't know how far down the rabbit hole we want to go today, Corey. But this is in fact, I wish I could find the picture. Okay, so this is and this I feel like this mimics my beliefs pretty closely. So and I want to be really clear. I think Corey and I are probably on the both same page here, but I'll let Corey speak for himself. I am far from a Donald Trump worshiper. If it were up to me, I think we could have far better candidate choices than the two options or three options that we essentially have coming up here. So I would rather better options across the board. But with what we've got, I think that if you look at a scale, you look at what is it? Far on your guys' screen, far left is over here. Is that right? Is opposite? It doesn't matter. Far left being over here, far right being over here. I feel like Kamala is like pretty close to the end of that spectrum on far left. And if this is the middle, I feel like Donald Trump is more middle-ish to right-ish. And so this encompasses more of my beliefs than this over here. And so once again, not a Donald Trump worshiper by any stretch of the imagination, but he is the candidate if you're comparing the two that represents more of my values. And so, we're kind of stuck between choosing two options that neither is particularly favorable, in my opinion. I want more freedom and I want a good economy. I feel like Trump is more likely to do that than the current administration would continue things through Kamala, in my opinion.
100%. No, I'm on the same page with you as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Plus, she's going to send crypto to the moon.
Yeah, let's freaking send it, man. Let's do it. So I don't know. Those are my opinions. It's interesting to see everybody's takes. This is great. Hey, shout out to Crypto 7. Hexlated Team RH is here because of Crypto 7. So we appreciate both of you. Welcome along, Hexlated Team RH. We're glad you're here. Crypto 7, we always appreciate your support, brother. You're here as well. So thank you.
Yeah, he's got an awesome show. If you guys aren't watching Crypto 7, that guy is on point with the data he brings onto that show. He has like Hans on there sometimes. I mean, it's like the show is so good. And I learn a thing or two every time I watch it. So we appreciate you, Crypto 7. Yeah, you guys go over there and watch his show too.
Yep, absolutely. In fact, Crypto 7, feel free to post your show, the link in the chat. Yeah, we're happy to tout that. We appreciate what you do for the community.
No problem shilling.
Nope, not at all. Oh yeah, and this was cool. Yeah, we did. So Sami clipped our show the other day and shared a little bit.
Yeah.
And I stand by the clip, man. Like, show me a place where you could logically go make bets and feel confident that there's two steps to being a good investor. The first is confident that you'll retain your value, you'll be able to get your initial back. And the second is that you'll be able to grow the money. So show me a place in crypto where you feel more confident about those two places than you do the RH community and his tickers. For me, that's the place where I feel most confident. Like, we've looked at tons of other places. I feel good about that, especially at these prices. Like, I just don't think we have much more downside. I think it's primarily upside ahead. Now, we could be wrong, so you've got to make your own financial decisions. But man, like, you want to go buy a Solana meme coin and hope that you guessed the right one out of 20,000, like, it's hard. So I don't know. I stand by that.
I mean, your other options, in my opinion, is like just buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe Solana itself, right? And that would get you some gains. And it's almost like not a for sure, but it's never financial advice, right, guys? But like,
but you're pretty confident.
Yeah, we know you're going to get some gains if you're holding those three assets in your portfolio. But if you're trying to get that real leverage play, 20x, 50x, 100x, well, then you have to go down the risk rabbit hole. And I feel like the RH tickers for going down the risk threshold is the best bet you can make. Like you said, if you're trying to go down the risk threshold with other blockchains, we're going to go buy some meme coins in Solana and get freaking rug pulled. I mean, it's just it's tough. So yeah, if I was not in the RH assets, I'd probably be holding the blue chips for the most part. Other options are AI, real world assets, gaming. And even then, you got to make sure you know which ones to be holding. There's a ton of them. The fact that the narrative is just the narrative's out there already, that these are kind of like this market cycle's coins that have been pumping, like you're going to see a lot of garbage too. So,
Yep.
I'll just help.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, you go make your bets wherever you want. You know what I mean? I feel good about ours. I feel really good about them. Yeah. And I'm telling you guys, we've talked about this on the show too. I think social media is a big part of the problem we have. So this is fascinating. And I'm not going to say you're right nor wrong here, Raymond. It's fascinating that you hold such a differing opinion. I'd be willing to bet that if we looked at both of our social media feeds side by side, we probably both see very different information given to us. And it makes it hard to get down to truth, like what is actual, what is real. I can tell you that when Trump was in office, Corey and I benefited very heavily in our real estate investing businesses. I can tell you our taxes, we benefited very heavily there. I can tell you that we had more friends making money then more easily than we do now. That's my experience from that term. Now we get to point to a million different reasons why it may or may not have been because of Trump. I don't know, but I find it really fascinating. Yeah, Raymond feels like Trump is far, far, far right, and that's a fascinating. It's just an interesting observation. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm telling you, I think social media is largely the bane of all of the the conflict that we largely see in the world because we're all given different feeds and it's hard to really determine what's true and what's not.
And you say that he gives tax cuts to the rich, Raymond. Are you not planning on being rich? I mean, why are you in crypto? I mean, I plan on being extremely wealthy in my life. I've got a taste of it now, but I mean extremely wealthy in my life. And so I'm going to choose accordingly.
Yeah, facts. My business was booming during Trump. It's a battle currently. Facts. And this is the story for so many small business owners across the nation. It is incredible to see the difference. I mean, yeah. So I mean, you can vote for whatever you want. I vote. I want to vote for a place where I feel like our money actually means something, where you can actually get something decent for your dollar, and business wise, you can thrive if you're a small business owner. That's what is most important to me. And I'm telling you, Corey, you and I have talked about this more in private settings, but man, like everybody, all these different woke agendas and things of this nature are largely first world problems. All of a sudden, they become way less important when people are standing in bread lines, they can't pay their bills. Well, guess what? People are just typically less concerned about those topics if you can't make ends meet. That is, in my opinion, that ought to be the first concern of every citizen of the United States voting. If you can't make ends meet, well, guess what? The rest of the things that people held as being so important, they're probably less important when you can't eat, when you can't make ends meet. And so, like, I don't know. To me, it's relatively clear on those topics, but everybody's different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Note to you, Raymond, I don't think we'll ever have a system where everyone pays a fair share. The way that the tax code is written is simply a playbook that you can choose to play in such a way where you don't have to pay taxes, or you could choose not to become informed and you can choose to pay it. Corey and I have learned how to play the game. Anyone can, as a United States citizen, can learn to play the tax code game and also pay little to no taxes. That's why we moved to Puerto Rico, because we don't like paying taxes and we don't
Nope.
want to feel like we are forced to buy depreciating assets to be able to get the write-offs to pay no taxes. It's a matter of accountability and how you want to spend your time and manage your money. There's a proper way to do it, and you can play the same game too. Yep, cool. All right, so we've covered a ton of things today. You feel like this is a good place to wrap, Corey?
Yeah, we're getting too political today, so let's wrap.
It's a good
Yep.
place.
Let's do it, guys. We'll be back. We'll be on tomorrow too for Open Mic Friday. Come on, Open Mic Friday. Hopefully, I'm feeling a little better by then. And yeah, let's talk anything, real estate, crypto, whatever you want to do. Come on, let's chat. Let's talk about it. And that's your guys' show. So see you guys mañana.
Yep. Smash the like, subscribes, all that stuff on your way out, you guys. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.